Hello, crafty friends. I am so excited to show you the new collection from Yana Smakula. So I have a few of her products that I'm going to be creating some Christmas cards with in today's video. Let's start out with this Twinkle Lights Glimmer plate. I love this. This one is called De-Light-Ful Christmas Glimmer Hot Foil Plate. So it comes with a sentiment as well, and the little twinkle lights that you can glue on top. Next up is a Merry Little Christmas Sentiments. You've seen me play with this one in previous videos. These are such beautiful sentiments for Christmas, and they're glimmer hot foil plates, but they come with coordinating dies to cut these out. Here's a few that I've already glimmered. Let me show you some of these. This one says, "Have yourself a merry little Christmas." And then this one says, "May your days be merry and bright." And then here's another one. It just says Christmas blessings. And then you get a few others. And next we have the Joyful Glimmer Hot Foil Plate. This is a simple little set, but the impact of this one is just breathtaking. It's so pretty. So it comes with two plates, and they are layering plates. So I'll show you how to use this one in just a few minutes. The next product is a die, and it's called Poinsettia Bloom Etched Die. It has the shadow piece right here, and then the poinsettia. These are very similar to some of the other floral releases that she designed in the past. And last, we have a stencil and glimmer plate combo. I love those. I have a few of them in my collection from Spellbinders. But here is the glimmer plate. It's called Glimmer Holly Background Hot Foil Plate. And it is a little bit larger than an A2 sized card, which is 5.5 by 4.25. And then the stencil is called Layered Glimmer Holly Background Stencil. Let's open this up and take a look at it. You get 4 stencils, and they are going to allow you to color in some of the greenery and some berries on this stencil. Okay, so let's start out with the Layered Glimmer Holly Background Stencil and Hot Foil Plate. I'm going to glimmer up the plate with some polished brass foil onto a piece of teal cardstock. This one is called Lagoon. I'll make my little sandwich here with the pretty side of the foil touching the pretty side of the plate. I like to tape this in place so it doesn't shift when I remove the hot plate and run it through my platinum machine. I'll put my plates on top of that, and I do have a piece of type paper folded in half to use as a shim. Then I can press the timer button. It does take about 1 minute. And then I can run it through my die cutting machine very slowly. Okay, I'll just put this back on the dock, grab my silicone mat. Now we can see what this looks like. I'll just pick it up by the paper, just kind of flop it onto the silicone mat. Then I can use my all-in-one tool to gently peel back the yellow tape. Okay, the best part is coming up, where we get to peel back the foil and see how it foiled up. And this one foiled up just beautifully. Next, I have kind of a hot foiling montage for you. Let's look at the De-Light-Ful Christmas Glimmer hot foil plate next. And I glimmered this onto a piece of dark navy blue cardstock using silver foil. This one just is so stunning. The silver and the navy look so pretty together. Next, I have the sentiment that came in the De-Light-Ful Christmas Glimmer plate set. It says, "Have a delightful Christmas." Here is the Joyful Glimmer Hot Foil Plate, and I already foiled out the Joyful. I lost that footage. I apologize for that. I used a green and a fuchsia colored foil for this card. And the cardstock is mahogany. Now I have a few more sentiments that I hot foiled. These are from a Merry Little Christmas sentiment set. Let me peel off the yellow tape and show you the first one. I used more of the fuchsia foil. Next, I used gold on some white cardstock. The little mini sentiment that I had underneath, I didn't work out. I accidentally foiled the hot foil plate. And then I have some more of the pink on the white cardstock. Next is a piece of gold and silver on the forest green cardstock. I think those look so pretty on this dark green. And I will use the coordinating dies to cut those out. Let's go ahead and put our first card together. So this is the stenciling card, and I'm going to tape it into place. My cardstock was just a little bit bigger than the stencil, so I had to use some tape. I'm using some Distress Oxide inks because they show up really nicely on the dark cardstock. And I'll use some worn lipstick first. I'm going to have some pink leaves on this card. And let me speed this up for the sake of time. These stencils are meant to look a little more painterly, so they're not going to perfectly color in each and every leaf, but it gives it a really cute effect. Let me pull the stencil off and show you what I mean. So you'll see that there are portions on some of the leaves where it's not painted in. Okay, next I'm using some light green ink to color in these smaller leaves. This ink is called Cracked Pistachio. To clean my stencils, I just use some baby wipes. My next color is Pine Needles, and it's very close to the color of the cardstock, so this is going to be a little more subtle. And then my last color, I meant to have it be red, this candied apple, but there was some brown on my brush, so they came out, a little too dark. But I'm going to continue on with this piece. I decided to turn this into a shaped card, so I cut it out with an arched die, as well as some pink cardstock. This will be a matting behind the green, or the teal blue. I cut out a white card base using one of the larger arched dies, and I can just attach my panel to this. The sentiment I decided to pop up with some foam squares. I haven't used my foam squares for a while, it seems like. I'm just going to pop this up at the bottom of the card. It says, "May your days be merry and bright," and I used the same foil that I used on the background, the gold brass. And here is a really close-up look. I didn't put any embellishments on this. I didn't think it needed it. For card number 2, I'm going to create the Be Joyful card, Glimmer, and I cut it out with an oval die. I also embossed a piece of wild berry cardstock with the intertwined lattice embossing folder. This one is not a 3D embossing folder, but it's one of my favorite. I'll use some tape runner to attach the oval onto my embossed panel. I love the Spellbinders tape runner because you can really see it. And you can also peel it back up if you didn't align it perfectly. So let's put this on a white card base. And then I will bring out a few red pearls to put around the sentiment. And this was really fast to put together, and here is a close-up look. The fuchsia foil really matches nicely with the wild berry cardstock, I think. And now on to card number 3. I'm using the De-Light-Ful Christmas Glimmer hot foil plate, and I went ahead and die cut some twinkle lights in orange, green, pink, and blue. And then I'm putting on the layering piece, and I cut that out with silver. And then I'm just going to glue these down flat over the lights on the panel. Let me skip ahead here. You don't need to see me gluing on every single twinkle light. It also comes with glimmer plates for these small twinkle lights if you want to glimmer them and cut them out that way. The sentiment I'll glue down flat with some liquid adhesive right in the center of the string of lights. I'm going to mat my panel with some silver mirror cardstock. I'll put this piece of cardstock down onto the card base first. And I'll add more liquid glue behind this panel. And then I can center that on the silver mirror cardstock. So let me give you a close-up look at card number 3. I just adore this hot foil plate. It's so fun and playful. And I think you could make up multiples of this card design using this card plate. It was pretty fast to put together. On card number 4, I'm going to be using the Poinsettia Bloom Etched die and some silver mirror cardstock. So this die here is the shadow piece, and I'm going to cut this out first. And then I wasn't thinking when I was doing this, because you don't have to use the shadow piece to cut out this large die here. It cuts out an image all on its own. But I'm going to tape these two pieces together. And this will give me an outline of the poinsettia. I'll show you what I mean here in just a minute. I'm going to take this off camera and run it through my die cutting machine. And here it is. So now I have an outline, a thin outline to this plate, as well as the poinsettia plate. So I'm just going to set that aside. I'm not going to use that. But here is the gorgeous poinsettia die cut. I also cut it out with some red cardstock. This is Poppy Field cardstock. I'm going to pop out all of the inner bits and paper piece them into this silver frame or silver outline. And it is very easy to do. So I'm going to use some forest green cardstock. And it just looks so pretty with the silver and the bright red. I'll add some glue behind the outline die piece and attach this to the green. I pulled out a Copic marker. This is a really deep red Copic marker. Oh, I did add an acrylic block on top just to hold that in place to dry. And I'm just adding a little bit of shading onto these petals. So I start at the base of the petal and I just kind of flick upwards. I'll attach these petals with a little bit of liquid glue, and these just pop into place easily. This is a really fun thing to do. And I'll jump ahead here a little bit, but I'm just going to continue on paper piecing these petals. This one just needed a little more shading to it. And the petals are very distinguished, each one, so it wasn't hard to find which petal goes where. Yana also created an anemone bloom as well as it was a magnolia, similar to this, that has the beautiful outline, and then you can paper piece all of the petals. I just love this collection. Okay, here is the very last piece. Oh, and I didn't glue down the sentiment yet. It's going to be a very flat card, which is easy to send out into the mail, but very stunning and impactful for the recipient. I'm going to glue down a sub-sentiment that says "Joy to the World," and I'll add a few smooth silver discs around this card. And then this card is done. Let me give you a close-up look. I don't know which out of these 4 cards I like the best. They're all so different from each other and also pretty. I hope you enjoyed this close-up look at the new collection from Yana Smakula called De-Light-Ful Christmas Collection. And here are all 4 of the cards that I created using these beautiful products. I will have all of them linked in the description box if you want to check any of these out. Well, I have a really good start on my Christmas cards for this year. I'm having so much fun making them. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.